This is Jose Gaitan. Today I'm going to cover The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell is probably one of the best books on leadership you can get, you can study, you can master, and read over and over again because there's always gems in that book. This is the key to your success of being a leader and not being a leader. Just because you have the word manager in front of your name or beside your name or under your name, the word executive, the word VP next to you does not mean you are a leader. Sorry to break the news to you. Leadership is a process, leadership is a journey, and they once said that when you turn around and you see who's following you, that's when you know you're a leader. If you turn around, there's no one following you, you're not a leader. If you turn around, you have people following you, you're a leader. And if you want to lead an orchestra, you must turn your back against the crowd. Imagine the beautiful music you make as a leader of an orchestra, but you have to turn your back on the crowd. And it's very crowded in the space of leadership. It's very crowded in the space of influencers. It's very crowded in the space of entrepreneurs. There's very few people in that group that are actually leaders. And today we're going to break down the 5 levels. The 5 levels begin at the bottom with number 1 being positional leadership, which is the right to follow you. Okay. Number 2 is permission, which is relationship based. Number 3 is production, which is result based. Number 4 is people development based, which is reproduction. And number 5 is the pinnacle, which is respect. I'm going to give you guys examples of each one. So prior to me being an entrepreneur, I'm a former bill collector. I hated being a bill collector. I hated having a job, and where you don't hate, you'll soon tolerate. And I remember working at a job, and I remember the way the manager or the owner made me feel. When I was there, clocking in, clocking out, hating my job, and they gave me orders, they gave me a schedule, they were not very polite, not very interested in my success. They just knew I was clocking in, clocking out. I was forced to follow that person because they had a position. They were a manager. They were an executive. That was a boss. There was no relationship at all. There was no permission for him to lead me because there was no relationship. There was no reproduction. It was just, hey, you show up at this time, you leave at this time. If you don't like certain things, oh well, because you got to follow me because of my position. That is probably 95% of people that have a job, and they're expected to follow somebody else because of their position. There is no influence, there is no reproduction, there is no care, there is no relationship. It's just follow me because I have a position. You're not a leader. That is pretty obvious. In the business of being an entrepreneur, in the business of building people, recruiting people, you can't do that either. You cannot have a title and say, follow me because of my title. You can't. You haven't earned that permission. You don't have a relationship with them. So number 1, most people are there, and sadly they think they're leaders. They haven't picked up one book and read about what it really means to be a leader. That's positional. That's rights. Follow me because they have to. Number 2 is permission, which is based on a relationship. People follow you because they want to. In my job as a bill collector, there was no relationship, there was no interest in my growth, there was no lunch meetings, dinner meetings, getting to know who I was, my family, nothing like that at all. But I remember when I got first introduced to entrepreneurship, my first mentor was a guy by the name of Jeremy. Jeremy, great resume, Pepperdine grad, financial professional, multiple licenses. I had no experience in the industry, or I didn't have none of those licenses or that resume, but he took an interest in me. He built a relationship with me. We had lunch multiple times. He invited me to his house to meet his family. We broke bread often. He was my mentor, next to me all the time. There was relationship. There was trust. And me as a former bill collector, I said, this guy really shows an interest in me. This guy really wants me to succeed. And that's who Jeremy became, one of my first mentors in the business. And he took care of me. He led me. There was trust there. We broke bread. We had lunch, multiple meetings. I opened up. There was trust there. Most people in any business, especially when you're recruiting a team, building a business, you think logic will get you very far. It's emotion based. It's relationship. When was the last time you had lunch, breakfast, had a meeting with them, talked about their goals and their dreams? They want to follow you. They want to show up. You give that person permission to lead you because there's a relationship that's based. But that only gets you so far because people want the next level, which is results. So number 3 is results. And number 3, which is crucial, it's production, which is results. People follow you because of what you have done for the organization. I'm not going to follow you because of your title. That's a right. There's a relationship there, which is you give me permission, But number three, I got to see you get results. You got to go produce. If I want to duplicate your success, you got to show me you're successful. You have to have results. If I'm in it to win it with you, show me the money, show me the success, show me the leadership, show me the personal growth, show me the dream, sell me the dream. Practice with me being successful. But I also want to live through you and your results and your income, your lifestyle, your zip code, the car you drive or you travel to, the money in the bank. Show me the money. People want to see that production. If a relationship will only go so far, but if you don't get to that next level, and there's a level of separation that says, hey, listen, you may not be where I'm at right now, but let me show you where I'm at now. And then I want to aspire to get to your level, income level, lifestyle level, relationship level, your spouse, your kids, the life that you have. I want to go duplicate that. That's production based. You're being followed because of what you have done for an organization. If I do what you did in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, will I have the lifestyle that you have? I'll give you an example. My good friends Christian and Floriana just crossed in her 4th year, $750,000 of cash flow. They're about to get to $1 million of income in their 4th year. But I remember meeting them. We're living in Whittier, California. My office is in Burbank, California. Flor said, I'm never going to drive over to Burbank. She meets my wife, build a relationship, build a friendship. And we said, look, if your team shows up, we get your team to show up to the Burbank office, you're going to have to show up. And if you want this business to work out, you have to show up, be part of the environment. Well, they wanted to have the kind of business that we have today. So guess what they did? They showed up, they made the drive, they made the sacrifices. And then when we moved to open up an office in Orange County, Santa Ana, they sold their beautiful $1 million home in Whittier, moved to a house across the street from the office in Santa Ana, California, and rented there, had money in the bank, sold their business, and to be part of the environment because they wanted to go see the results, they wanted to see the production, and they saw the success. If we get close to that success, and there's already a relationship, there's permission to lead them, friendship, trust, family, kids, church together, their kids hang out with our kids, we have that bond. But they wanted to be close to the production. If I'm close to that production, I can go duplicate that. 4 years later, have the #1 office in Corona, California, hundreds of agents, multiple agents on our team, brokers that are now 6-figure earners, $250,000 earners, and they're about to get to $1 million of income in their 4th year because of this pyramid of success of leadership. Number 3 is production. But number 4 is the key to scaling. Number 4, one of the most important ones before you get to pinnacle, is people development, which is based on reproduction. People follow you because of what you have done for them. Period. We have so many stories of successful people that have been built in this model of recruiting and building, training, developing other people. Imagine where this former bill collector, college dropout, but raised by a single mom, failed my life insurance exam twice. My first check isn't after 8 months. It took me 6 months to pass the exam. I would not be where I'm at if it wasn't for my coach and mentor, Patrick Ben-David, because of the relationship, the production, the results that he's shown, the reproduction of building people and building me as an individual if it wasn't for me having a mentor. So if you are a person right now that's got a team of agents, whatever field you're in, you could be in real estate, you could be in insurance, you could be in solar sales, you could be in team building, whatever it may be, car sales. But if you haven't reproduce other people that are making the kind of income you're making or have the lifestyle that you have, and it's all about you. You may be the king or queen of your land, but you're not a king and queen maker until you go reproduce people that have the life that you have, are making the income that you're making, are living a dream that you are living, that you casted a vision, now they're following that same vision. They're in a leadership position just like you. You haven't really reproduced anything. You're just a salesperson. You come a dime a dozen. It's just you alone. You really haven't built anything. And when you turn around, you don't have anybody following you. It's just simply you, the man or woman in the mirror. You haven't really built anything yet. Reproduction is key. Show me what you have built. Don't impress me about what you have. Show me about what you have built. We've been fortunate to build an amazing business, my wife and I, because of our CEO and what he has reproduced with not only myself and our army of agents, but agents across the country. So this level is key to you to scale and get to a next level. So a definition of people development is you growing future leaders to lead an organization. What's better, one leader with many followers, or several leaders growing and developing an organization? That's what you want. That is key to your growth and to you to scale any kind of organization. And most people do not get to this level 4 because it's just about them. You're the boss. You're the CEO of your company. You don't have anybody that can independently run your business. You don't have a synergist. You don't have someone that can just run your organization because it's just about you. You're the guy who's just chasing the next sale, the realtor chasing the next sale, the mortgage guy chasing the next sale, the car guy chasing the next sale. What have you built? It's not easy, it's a process, but let me tell you, it's very doable. And when you develop independent leaders that are building the future of an organization, it's freaking awesome. It takes life of its own. Last one is the one that is a lifelong journey, which is the pinnacle, which is the ultimate of respect. And number 5 is pinnacle, which is respect. People follow you because of who you are and what you represent. This is a lifelong journey. Being a pinnacle leader, very few people get here. It's the 1%ers that get to this level of leadership. And they don't look up and say, hey, I'm now 30, age 40, age 50, where I built this. They keep going and keep going because the ultimate levels of leadership is you serving other people and developing other people over your course of your lifetime, in your family, in your church, in your community, in your business, with your peers. You're constantly developing other people. It's a legacy that you're leaving. It's a legacy that continues over and over and over again, whether you're there or not. I'm going to go over the upside and the downside of the pinnacle leadership. The upside is you create a legacy of leaders. Number 2, you make an impact in your organization beyond you being there. And number 3, this legacy that you leave behind continues to spread out. It's like roots. And those leaders go into multiple organizations, multiple businesses, multiple communities, and it spreads like wildfire, all because of your legacy. The downside of pinnacle, number 1, is that it makes you think that you've arrived. You get full of yourself and say, hey, I've made it already because I've reached pinnacle. No, the humble and true leaders that keep going and over and over and over again don't stop. They keep developing other people over time. They don't believe they've arrived. Remember, you're either growing or you're dying. At the pinnacle level, if you think you're there, you believe your own press, don't take yourself too seriously. You haven't quite made it yet because it's not over until it's over. Until pretty much you're gone, you're no longer here. You got to go keep serving. And lastly, a downside of pinnacle, it can make you lose focus because you stopped. You think you've made it, so it can make you lose focus on the reason why you got started. You don't become a bureaucrat, an aristocrat at the very tail end. You got to remember why you got started at the beginning as a prophet, as a leader, as someone who was brand new. You took orders because someone had a title. You followed somebody else because of the permission. You kept going because of the production that they had, and they helped you. You also reproduce that. Number 4, you kept going because you believed on who you can become, which is the people development, and you kept going and going and going, and you didn't stop. Remember, you're growing or you're dying. Your ultimate goal was to reach the pinnacle status. So if you follow these steps here and these levels of leadership through John Maxwell, let me tell you, it's crucial. This is a subject you can't stop learning from. This is a subject you can't stop mastering. This is a subject you got to study every single quarter and analyze, am I becoming a better leader? Or am I stagnant? Am I more of an ego-driven person because of my title, my position, or the income level that I've gotten to? Turn around, look behind you, and see who's following you. If it's a small crowd, you haven't really built a whole lot. If you turn around and you realize it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you stay humble, watch your business scale, watch it grow. Everyone needs help in these areas. This is a subject that is evergreen. You got to keep learning because it evolves. Study the books, study John Maxwell, get the 5 levels of leadership, read all of his books, study it, take it chapter by chapter, be a teacher of the subject over and over again. Watch your leadership grow, give it time, be patient, and then if you want to reach certain income level, guys, let me tell you, the best way to reach your income levels or your income aspirations, guys, the kind of money is serve other people. You help other people get where they want to get to, and you help develop other people. You're going to get to where you want to get to times 10, times 100. It's unlimited. So if you like what you heard, like, subscribe, comment, and share this content. Look out for more content on leadership. Look out for more programs, leadership, mentorship programs that I'm going to be launching on my website. Looking forward to connecting with you. Looking forward to seeing you develop as the best possible leader.